Before I begin my formal remarks today, I thought I'd just please allow me to just say a few words in the Fijian vernacular to acknowledge the landowners on whose land we gather here today. Waturang sakatikui nawatulewu wasakanangan turang na Nadi, waturang sakataltungai sawayake. Wasakana ngon marama na toke na ua waturang sakatal tungai betorora ber na vula wasakana momo na tui sambeto na wiki mamina mai mbosi kati ko na enandi na singni ko na ulutanga lewuni cooperatives sa kanto kai sakati kini kimami mai butuh sakati kana soso nomdo soso na singni ko I wish to, as I said, just acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and gather today and pay respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. To Mr. Andrew Alimadi, Social Affairs Officer of the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, Mr. 𝐂𝐿𝐄𝐎𝐿, Chair of the Committee for the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives, or 𝐂𝐓𝐑𝐀, my friend Mr. Balu Iyer, the Director of the Office of the Asia Pacific Office of the International Cooperative Alliance, Datuk Ali Manso, Director General of the Cooperative Institute of Malaysia, Professor Saswata Narayan Biswas of the Tribhuvan Sakari University, hopefully I've got that right, and directors and registrars and brothers from the Pacific Islands. Bulovinaka, we say in Fiji Yandravinaka, which is good morning, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to our shores here today. Andrew was talking about the 2025 celebration of the Year of Cooperatives, and I was fortunate enough to attend that opening in India in the presence of the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, His Excellency Narendra Modi. And it dawned on me at the time when I was standing up there that what a massive movement the cooperative movement was. In the Fijian context, as correctly mentioned by Andrew, we've had cooperatives historically throughout our years since even before independence. And it has, in fact, funded some of our most learned leaders in this country, funded their education. The copra cooperatives, for example, it's supported some of the leaders that became great leaders in this country. And it also dawned on me that, as correctly mentioned as well, that if we all work together, the cooperative movement, perhaps more than any, is best structured to deal with some of the issues that are identified in the SDGs. And I came away from that conference feeling rather inspired and thankful that I had attended that conference. But for today, on behalf of Fiji, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to the United Nations Department on Economic Affairs and Social Affairs, or UNDESA, and the Committee for the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives for their partnership in working together with Fiji to organize this event. Your support demonstrates the growing recognition of cooperatives as a catalyst for inclusive and sustainable development. One of the, since this new government of Fiji came in, one of the things that we somewhat dreamt about was that desire to really bring together a lot more regional cooperation. As you all know, our first Prime Minister was a leader in terms of regional cooperation. And sadly, that had seemed to have faded away somewhat in the past government. And there was a deep feeling that we needed to bring about more regional cooperation across the Pacific. And in fact, I am convinced that in the years to come, there will be more of a Pacific economy, an integrated Pacific economy that you will see across the Pacific. So in that vein, we've been in the ministry. I took a sabbatical for 10 months. I've just come back to the ministry. But in that time, when we always tried to look for areas to promote regional opportunity. And once we started rediscovering the potential and the vigor of the power of the cooperative movement, Sefo one day said, "What about a regional movement for Fiji?" And so here we are today to discuss a regional movement for the Pacific, and it gives me great pleasure. We have done a similar thing in terms of standards. In the area of standards, there is a regional movement building as well, and that has come by this inherent desire by Fiji to try and interconnect. We are very disparate countries with different economies, different sizes economies, but the secret lies with us working more together. And if we are able to unlock that potential properly, the benefits will flow equally, not only to the big countries, not only to the big boys like Papua New Guinea or Solomon, but across the Pacific. I'll give you another example of regional cooperation. In early 2022, Fiji got approached by Google to run cables through Fiji across the Pacific, just through Fiji connecting to Australia. So in our first conversation, I told the Google the senior person at Google, have a look around you and see whether you can connect the rest of the Pacific. From that conversation, they went away and then realized that they had actually had the ability to light up the whole Pacific region in terms of internet connectivity. Tuvalu now has connectivity through Google. Each country, I think, will have redundancy cable connectivity, which transforms the way communication will run across the Pacific. So these are examples of things that are happening now. They have happened as well in the past, but there is potential in us continuing to collaborate together. So I welcome very much this idea of a regional movement, and I'm looking forward to the developments going forward. In Fiji, the cooperative movement, as is mentioned, has been around for some time, and I'm sure it's similar to the Pacific in that the cooperative movement and the idea of collaboration or working together, it ties in very well to our own traditional customs and tradition. In Fiji, there's a ethos called solesolevaki, or working together for the common good. And the cooperatives essentially aligns very closely to that ethos. And so, you know, the cooperative movement has had somewhat of a checkered history in Fiji. There was an explosion in the 60s, 70s, a bit quiet in the mid 2000s, and we are rediscovering the potential of the cooperatives now. And you know, we are pressing very hard in terms of what we think we can achieve through cooperatives. In my visit to India, Andrew, last year, I spent a bit of time just observing how the cooperatives worked in India, and it is absolutely amazing. We went to a well-known company in the state of Gujarat called Amul, which is a milk cooperative. And basically, they pick up even like 1 liter of milk from a lady that has a little, that has 1 cow in her family. But when they collect all this milk together, it is in the excess of a few, I think 100 million liters that gets collected. And that is the power of cooperatives. You're not only touching the big lives of the big people, you're also touching the lives of the smaller, or the less privileged. I asked them a question when I was there. Why did you guys how did you guys come up with the idea of cooperatives? And they said it was very simple. They created the movement to take away the middleman, so that the whole benefit of the economic value chain was kept within the farmers. So right now in Amul, with digital transformation, they all have apps on their phones. They know exactly when the milk is picked up, what the quality of your milk is. Your payment is made direct into your mobile phone. And that is the level of technology that, so that is again just a major example of how cooperatives, the bigger cooperatives are moving. And I can see, perhaps on a smaller scale, some of that application being relevant to Fiji. In Fiji, we are moving very ahead in terms of the cooperative movement. We at the moment focusing agriculture is a big focus. Just beyond these doors, there's a group called the New Valley Farmers. They're a group of about 7,000 farmers, mostly sugarcane farmers and other types of crops. They've come together to sort of form a grouping. We've gone in and created 20 cooperatives at the moment in climbing. Rami has been doing a lot of good work around that. And I noticed the other day that they've started exporting cowpea to New Zealand. And then they've all started exporting root crops to Nauru. So these are the sort of real life examples that that we can see at the moment in terms of the cooperative movement. In terms of the wider agenda for the Fiji government, we believe that the focus on small business, or micro, small and medium enterprise and cooperatives, will really be the answer to our rural economy. The challenge at the moment in Fiji particularly is that there's a big shift of people into urban centers. Big imbalance. And why? Because there's no source of income in the rural economy. So with the combination of the cooperatives finding markets, we're trying to slowly flip the direction and make it more attractive, or some people say sexy, to stay back in the village, earn a proper living, my hope is that in time, you can be in the village and earn 20, 30, 40,000. That'll be good enough. That's like someone earning 200,000 in town. And that is sort of some of the dreams that we are currently sort of looking at in terms of cooperatives for Fiji. In terms of for today, the formation of the Pacific Islands Cooperative Network or PICON is from the Fijian perspective. It should have probably happened 30 years ago, because I can see how through the cooperative movement we can do a lot of things. We all grow pineapple, we all grow watermelon at scale, and we do it well. Tonga has some of the best watermelon in the world, I reckon, as does Fiji, but I always like Tonga's better. But just imagine if we could harness this collective opportunity and create market opportunities for access using Fiji Airways, and away we go. So the future for the cooperative movement in the Pacific, in my view, is potential, and is very exciting. I spent 6 years of my life in Papua New Guinea working for ANZ Bank, and that country, if I always feel for the farmers out in the coffee plantations and the cocoa plantations, and I reckon if they start forming cooperatives, they will get a lot more of the benefit from what those big boys in the commercial side are getting from the farm. And so there are opportunities around to not only transform industry in our countries through cooperatives, but also ensure that the benefits trickle down to the guy that sweats, rather than the guy that just processes it and then sends it away at a very high markup. I'll share something with you. At the moment, we are about to legislate kava in Fiji. The reason we're doing that is we believe the kava industry will be it's already a major industry in Fiji, with great potential as a global commodity. And one of the things we're trying to encourage now through CEFO's team is start working in cooperatives. Why? Again, in the current model, the middlemen make all the juice. The guys that do 80% of the effort don't get 80% of the benefit. So the cooperative model can flip that dynamic, as we can see in the case of Amul, as an example. And so I thought I've gone a bit off script just to give you share some ideas in terms of what we've been doing in Fiji. We are, of course, looking at reforming our legislation and continuing to reinvigorate the cooperative environment. One of the industries that missed out on the cooperative benefit was our sugar industry. Because our prices were so good during the 70s and 80s, everybody ran individual farms, not realizing that at some point the global prices will plummet because the subsidies will be pulled out. And so a lot of them are now discovering cooperatives. And they are all admitting that they should have done cooperatives a long time ago. And so, Fiji can see the benefit of cooperatives. I just thought I'd just share just one example. This is how in a lot of smart thinking comes into play in cooperatives. In our ministry, we have grant programs. One of our grant programs is a 1/3, 2/3 program. So you can, let's say if you want to get a tractor for your farms, you look for 1/3 of the cost, and the farmers or the farmer looks for 2/3, gets 2/3 from government. So anyway, so we 2 years ago we went down to a cooperative here down in Singatoka, which is halfway between Suva and Nadi. And the cooperative leader, after we presented his tractor, said to us, come and see the farm. So we went down to the farm, and so he was showing the sugarcane farm, and then he pointed out a few lines of tobacco that he had grown as well, about 10 lines of tobacco. Tobacco, you actually harvest tobacco every 4 months. So he said to me, sir, this tobacco line they had borrowed their 1/3 from the Fiji Development Bank. So they said, we're going to harvest these tobacco lines in 2 years, we'll pay off our loan at the Fiji Development Bank. So right now I met him just 2 or 3 months ago. He said, that's paid, we have a free tractor and everybody's happy. That is the power of the cooperative. And so from Fiji's perspective, we are totally for this movement. And we look forward to the continued collaboration and cooperation. Fiji does it from a standpoint that as a country, we so much believe in regional cooperation. It's in our DNA, introduced by our first Prime Minister. But more importantly, as we see it, it will create more benefits for the region and make a meaningful difference. It will certainly help, as I mentioned, in terms of inter-regional trade and perhaps global trade in the future. It'll make access to markets a lot more easier, because as we group together with commodities, we can supply market. One of the things that us small countries have an inability to do is, when orders come, they come in bulk, and sometimes we are unable to deliver. I'll give you an example. Fiji is trying to re-establish its cocoa industry. And so we've started to see the development of cocoa farms all around the country. And just recently, I got word that a businessman in New Caledonia is opening up a chocolate factory there and wants to buy as much cocoa from everywhere around the Pacific. So they're in Fiji in the next couple of weeks. And hopefully we can, again, he's saying, I want to grab cocoa from Fiji, from Samoa, wherever, to start, so that he can get supply. So, there you can see the potential overlay of cooperatives into these kind of market spaces. Technology and innovation, one of the benefits of these kind of movements is you can actually start, sort of sharing innovation in digital tools. I mentioned the app by Amul in India. Just as a simple example of how they've used technology. One of the things that farmers always complain about, I give my product today, I don't get the money until 2-3 weeks. But if you have a good mobile platform, money in your pocket straight away as soon as the product's received. Fiji has an exceptional mobile wallet platform that I believe is now being shared across the Pacific. It's called M-Paisa here. I can't remember what it's called in the PNG, but the rollout is going across the Pacific. There's also benefits in terms of one of the cornerstones for Fiji as well is just youth empowerment and women empowerment. Sefo and I and the team have been working very closely with with a lot of women cooperatives. And it's such a pleasure to see this renewed drive in cooperatives. I'll tell you another story just because it's as an example. We met this lady cooperatives 2 years ago. What they do is there's about 14 villages, and they take turns as cooking in the markets in one of our towns in Fiji called Nausori, close to the Nausori airport if you know about Fijian geography. Had a few issues, they needed some new equipment, but they always had issues with transport as well, because they had to call a taxi in the morning to come and pick some of them to come to the. So we had a chat, we funded them a 3-ton truck, so that truck now picks all of them up in the morning, drops them off. During the day, it's hired out to various people. They told me that they now have a contract with the water authority or something. So that 3-ton truck is earning money during the day and then comes back and picks up the ladies in the afternoon. Free cash, non-core business adds on to what they're doing in terms of and they're paying their debt very easily in terms of the commitment. And of course, also, with these regional movements, you're able to, like today, do a lot of capacity building, which is absolutely necessary, and continue to press hard on this regional agenda, which I'm so excited about. I told the Prime Minister, we're having Parliament at the moment. I told the Prime Minister I'm going to go to Nadi. So my driver and I drove at 5 a.m. this morning to be here, just to come and open this event. And then I'll scoot back to Parliament after this, so I can't stay long. But, certainly from my perspective, we are very excited that, we are forming a regional movement. Not only because it's just another tick in the box in terms of regional development, it's actually an opportunity to really touch the lives of our people and transform them. And so once again, to the delegates here today, thank you for coming from wide and far. We look forward to all the decisions or whatever you come up with here today. Certainly in terms of Fiji's commitment, we are all in on cooperatives. We look forward to the success of not only this workshop, but also the success of the Fiji, of the Pacific regional movement for cooperatives. And I wish you well. And with those few words, I am happy to declare this this meeting open. And God bless you all. God bless you, the Pacific region. And God bless you individually as well. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Good morning, colleagues. Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Manoa Kamikamica, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for showing the strong commitment that your government and the people of Fiji have to the spirit of cooperatives. We know that cooperatives is not a new thing here in Fiji, and it's not a new thing in the Pacific Island countries either. Cooperatives is the way that people have lived for generations. Even my boss at the United Nations Department for Economic and Social Affairs, our Division of Inclusive Social Development, my boss, Mr. Charles Katawanga, always remembers that he grew up in a cooperative system, and it's also his passion to see that system that has been so successful for many years continues to be successful for many more years to come. I think it is very fitting that we're in Fiji today, a country that has recognized the power of collective action and community-driven development for strengthening the Pacific cooperative through education, training, and regional cooperation. So over the next 3 days, we will focus on a simple but powerful idea. When people work together, they can achieve far more than they can do so alone. Our objective here is to strengthen cooperatives by creating more opportunities for their growth and thereby their ability to support national development aspirations of Pacific Island countries. This mission could not be more relevant. Last year, world leaders gathered in Doha for the Second World Summit for Social Development and reaffirmed a fundamental truth. Development is ultimately about people. World leaders committed to eradicating poverty, creating employment, decent work for all, and fostering more inclusive societies. For Pacific Island countries, these priorities are very urgent. The region continues to confront challenges of climate change, geographic isolation, economic vulnerability, youth unemployment, and many others. And one way to solve a lot of these problems is to bring back the power of cooperatives. In many United Nations resolutions and international summits of late, be it the Summit on Financing for Development, the Millennium Development Goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, and all these major summits have all acknowledged the power of cooperatives to bring sustainable change to communities. And ladies and gentlemen, the Pacific has a proud cooperative tradition. The opportunity before us is to build a legacy by strengthening the skills, institutions, enabling environment that allow cooperatives to realize their full potential. The vision agreed in Doha gives us a destination, a roadmap for what we want to see happen in Pacific, and we need strong political will and strong political leadership to drive this system forward. Before us here, Deputy Prime Minister, we have very committed cooperators from all over the world, from many Pacific Island countries. We have people with development experience, people with financing experience from all over the world who will be introducing themselves shortly. And you will see the commitment, the expertise, the strength that we are bringing to this workshop. And we hope that the legacy will continue. And next time we meet, which hopefully will be before 2035. I mentioned 2035 because the United Nations has declared that every 10 years we're going to have an International Year of Cooperatives. The last one was last year, 2025. The next one's going to be in 2035. Hopefully, with initiatives such as this one, in 2025 to 35, we'll be reporting on success and continuous growth of cooperatives and transform lives throughout the Pacific. To make this a reality, it's not going to be just the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. It's going to be also with strong international networks, such as the Committee for the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives, which is currently being led by our colleague 𝐿𝐶𝐄, who works with the United Nations Research Institute for Social Development. So with these small words, I want to Pula Vinaka and pass the microphone to 𝐿𝐶𝐄. Thank you.
The Honorable Manoa Kamikamica, Deputy Prime Minister, and I lost my, sorry. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Industry, Commerce and Business Development and Public Enterprises, Excellencies, cooperators from around the world, and representatives of UN and other international organizations, and more than anything else, and friends and colleagues. It is great pleasure and honor for me to join you today for this workshop on behalf of all the members of Committee for the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives, or COPAC. From the perspective of COPAC, this workshop is very much interesting because Fiji became independent on the 10th of October 1970, and COPAC was established in 1971, just a few months later, March 1971. So in a way, independent Fiji and COPAC have traveled through more than a half century of cooperative history together, side by side. Much has changed during those decades. However, some fundamental questions remain with us. How do we translate those cooperative values like democracy, reciprocity, and solidarity can be translated into realities of our economies and societies? We may be able to find answers to this question in at least three interconnected elements. They are strong cooperative movement and well-connected cooperative sector and mainstream cooperative system. A strong cooperative movement needs successful cooperatives, of course, but it also needs a kind of a shared sense of purpose. So if we have more people who can understand why cooperation matters, we can find answers to the question of how to translate those values of democracy, solidarity, and reciprocity into realities more easily. Well-connected cooperative sector is very important as well, because cooperatives do not operate in isolation. They interact with governments, civil society, private enterprises, trade unions, universities, financial institutions, and international organizations. Well-connected means we know how to engage with other sectors while maintaining or even strengthening the values and identity of cooperatives. It also means making these diverse sectors contribute to the development of cooperatives, and making these sectors contribute to the development of cooperatives is not possible only when the cooperative sector becomes larger. It happens when cooperative principles, values, become more influential in the wider economy and society. The cooperative system, even the strongest ideals, need institutions capable of putting them into practice. So we have to embed those values of democracy, solidarity, and reciprocity into institutions, rules, regulations, capabilities, and everyday practices. If we examine these three elements, the movement, the sector, and the system, we can also begin to answer another important question. How do we scale up cooperatives? How do we scale up in terms of the expansion of cooperatives in multiple sectors, in terms of the scale of economic activity and memberships, or moving up the value chains, and in terms of the expansion of cooperatives across sectors to become a central pillar for local economic and social development. And I think we are here to discuss the best approaches to scale up cooperatives through education and training. And I believe the experiences of the Pacific offer an especially important setting for this discussion. Cooperation, mutual support, and collective responsibility are not foreign ideas here in the Pacific. They are deeply connected with many traditions and practices of Pacific communities. I think one of our tasks today, particularly here in Nadi, in our workshop, is therefore not simply to promote a particular organization model for a cooperative. It is to ask how the diverse cooperative models can translate, or cannot translate sometimes, traditions of solidarity and reciprocity into institutions capable of meeting the economic, social, and environmental challenges of the 21st century in a democratic manner. By finding answers to this question over the next 3 days, we can also find new pathways for scaling up cooperatives in many ways. And ultimately, by doing that, we can find a strategy to build a more inclusive, and shared prosperity across the Pacific and beyond the Pacific. On behalf of the United Nations Committee for the Promotion and Advancement of Cooperatives, or COPAC, I thank the government of Fiji, again, UNDESA, and all the partners, and all of you who have come together for this workshop. I look forward very much to our discussion over the next 3 days. Thank you very much.